Warning. What you're about to hear might be uncomfortable, but it holds a profound truth that most people prefer to ignore. A truth you won't learn in romantic movies or in the recycled advice of well-meaning but uninformed people. There's an undeniable reality. Most women are attracted to a kind of energy that isn't necessarily logical but deeply emotional. It's something that awakens instinct, stirs them beyond words, and it exists in less than 1% of men. What's most interesting and also most brutal is that many men go their entire lives without understanding this truth, never discovering that magnetic force some men seem to have naturally. And because they don't understand it, they try to compensate with acts of service, excessive compliments, constant availability. The result? Frustration, confusion, and wounded self-esteem. We're not here to sugarcoat things. We're here to tell you the truth. And here's the first one. Women are not attracted to men who seek their approval. Sure, they may value his kindness. Yes, they may appreciate his commitment. But that doesn't spark attraction. It doesn't ignite the fire. It doesn't create that uncontrollable desire that draws them closer. The lapdog, the kind of man who doesn't spark passion. Picture the classic nice guy who bends over backwards to please. Always available. Replies immediately, listens intently, offers solutions to her problems, even when she didn't ask. He tries to be the most understanding, the most attentive, the most accommodating. And yet, he ends up ignored. Or worse, he becomes her best friend. The infamous, "You're amazing, but I don't know. I just don't feel that with you." Why does this happen? Because attraction isn't built on logic or usefulness. It's built on emotional energy. And the lapdog radiates neediness, insecurity, lack of direction. He's like a song that sounds fine, but doesn't make you feel anything. There's no tension, no mystery, no force. The lion, the symbol of irresistible masculine energy. Now shift your focus. Picture a lion. He doesn't seek approval, he doesn't try to be accepted. He simply is. He walks with purpose. His presence alone commands respect. He doesn't need to roar to be heard. The lion represents a man who is centered within himself. A man with a mission in life. A man who won't sacrifice his vision just to please. This man isn't rude or insensitive. He's clear, grounded, powerful. And that makes him magnetic. Women, though they may not say it out loud, feel a primal attraction to this kind of man. A man who can't be molded. A man who sets his own standards. A man who lives with conviction. And the most powerful truth? Any man can become that lion. But not from ego. From discipline, mindset, and inner transformation. Stoicism. The root of masculine power. This is where Stoicism comes in. A philosophy that doesn't teach you to repress your emotions, but to channel them intelligently. The Stoic man isn't cold, he's centered, he's not insensitive, he's firm, he's not indifferent, he's self-sufficient. Stoicism teaches that a man's power comes from within, not from external validation. And that exact energy is what women find so desirable. A man who doesn't need to be accepted because he has already accepted himself. A man who doesn't fear losing anyone because he refuses to lose himself. That's true attractiveness. And it's the first step to stop being the lapdog and awaken the lion inside you. Fragment 2. The first step toward transformation. Stop seeking approval. Let's be real. One of the most common and most damaging mistakes men make is constantly seeking approval. They want to be accepted. They want to be validated. They want to prove they're good enough for a woman, for their friends, for their family, for society itself. But here's the hard truth. The more you seek external approval, the less valuable you appear. Because the energy you project is not that of someone who knows who he is. It's the energy of someone who doubts his own worth. Think about how many times you've done things just to please, responding to every message immediately, giving in when you didn't want to, just to avoid conflict, always being available, being too understanding, even when someone disrespected you. And what did you get in return? In most cases, distance, loss of interest. Zero attraction. See the pattern? what you thought would bring you closer, was actually pushing them away. Approval can't be earned. It's commanded through authenticity. You need to understand something critical. You can't convince someone to value you. You can't force attraction. You can't buy a woman's respect with attention, gifts, or availability. Value isn't proven. It's recognized. And it will only be recognized once you recognize it in yourself first. This is the turning point in many men's lives. The moment they realize their time, energy, and presence are gifts, not to be handed out freely, not to be given to those who haven't earned them, not to be wasted on those who don't appreciate them. And here's the beautiful part. The moment you stop chasing external validation, you begin to become that magnetic man we talked about. The one who doesn't need to prove anything because his entire life is a declaration of purpose, direction, and power. The essence of the Stoic man. Acting from the center. Stoic philosophy reminds us of a simple, powerful truth. You can't control what others think, but you can control how you respond. You can't control what others value, but you can control what you allow. The Stoic man doesn't act out of need. He acts by choice. He doesn't respond from fear of loss, he responds from clarity of identity. He knows his worth doesn't depend on whether he's chosen, approved, or acknowledged. His worth is unchangeable because it's forged in character, not in opinions. This kind of man can look a beautiful woman in the eyes without trying to impress her. He can say no to things that don't serve him, without fear of offending. He can set boundaries, without raising his voice. And all of that makes him deeply attractive. The paradox of attraction: when you stop seeking, you start being sought. Here's the most ironic part of all. The moment you stop seeking approval, you start receiving it. When you no longer try to impress, you impress more. When you no longer try to attract, you become more attractive. When you stop trying to fit in, you naturally align with the right people. Why? Because people, especially women, can sense the difference between a man who needs to be validated and a man who has already validated himself. One feels anxious, the other calm. One reacts, the other chooses. One begs, the other stands firm. And guess which one creates desire, respect, and admiration? Fragment 3. The kind of confidence that isn't said. It's felt. Let's talk about one of the most magnetic traits a man can have: authentic confidence. But not just any confidence. We're not talking about arrogance or rehearsed lines in front of a mirror. Not that superficial confidence that looks solid on the outside, but crumbles at the first rejection. We're talking about that calm, powerful presence that doesn't need to raise its voice to be noticed. The kind of security you feel before it's ever explained. You've met someone like that, haven't you? Someone who walks into a room and the energy shifts. He's not the tallest, not the most handsome, not even the most outgoing. But he has something. That's real confidence. And the best part? You can develop it too. Where does that confidence come from? It's not random. It's not magic. It comes from 3 key sources. 1. Real accomplishments. It's not just about what you say you'll do. It's about what you've already proven you can do. Every goal achieved, every challenge overcome, builds a solid foundation beneath your feet. That foundation becomes your unshakable confidence. 2. Alignment with your values. A man who lives in alignment with his principles radiates a different kind of strength. Why? Because his life isn't a performance. It's an extension of his identity. That coherence commands respect. And yes, admiration too. 3. Deep self-knowledge. When you know who you are, light and shadow, you no longer define yourself by anyone else's opinion. And that is a liberating force. This combination creates an imposing presence, an energy that can't be copied, can't be faked. And it's exactly that energy that women and the world find irresistible. Applied Stoicism. Control the inner, ignore the outer. Stoicism, one of the most powerful philosophies ever written, teaches something clear and simple. In life, you control only 3 things: your thoughts, your actions, your attitude. That means real confidence doesn't depend on whether she replies to your message, whether someone compliments your looks, whether they acknowledge you or ignore you. Confidence is born from your relationship with yourself, from looking in the mirror and saying, "I know who I am, I know what I'm worth, and nothing external can change that." Can you see it? That's the foundation of unbreakable confidence, the kind that doesn't crack when you're rejected, because rejection doesn't define you, the kind that doesn't waver when others don't understand you because you don't need their validation to move forward. How to develop authentic confidence? Step by step. Many men believe confidence is a natural gift, but the truth is, it's built every day, with small but powerful choices. Here are some practical steps to begin. Train your body, not for vanity, but for self-respect. Physical discipline reshapes your mind. Master a valuable skill: public speaking, business, music, writing, leadership, whatever. Being excellent at something changes how you see yourself. Keep your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Period. Every time you follow through, your confidence grows. Learn to enjoy being alone.